What's up, everybody? It's me, and today we are going to do a very special day of these traumatizing back things. Fuck it, we live ball. Anyway. Ooh. This one already sounds juicy, and I barely read anything. My brain is slow. Anyway. This one by Informal Help 1426. I wonder what that year was like. Nah, I'm joking. You want to follow me onto the bus, McDonald's man? Fine, but you get to hear how insane I am. Petty revenge. I, 23 female, was plagued by a guy I call McDonald's man for about a month. He would hang around the McDonald's right at my bus stop and proposition me, not caring if I said no or not. If he couldn't get my attention, he would often bother the people around me to try and get them to join in. Everyone was naturally uncomfortable with his behavior and just said, no. I'm pretty shy and non-confrontational due to a mixture of factors. As a child, I used to be loud, proud, and very able to stand up for myself, but that sadly changed. So one day, after he's been harassing me at the bus stop for 30 minutes while I wait, and I've been determinedly ignoring him, he decides that he's gonna follow me onto the bus when it comes. I see red. Not only has this man made me terrified to take the bus to school, he has been trying to get others to harass me, and now he's following me? Alright, sir, let me make you feel really uncomfortable. I write fanfiction, and I am a deeply traumatized and mentally ill individual. And it comes out in the plots I write. I'm on the phone with my fiance, 24 male, who is well aware of this, and has been being on the phone in an attempt to try and keep me safe. We are... Is it long distance? I'm just going to assume that means long distance, because that's the only thing I know. Anyway, start talking loudly about one of the fanfiction plots I'm writing, but conveniently forget to mention it's a fanfiction. Oh. I confidently say, yeah, so I'm planning on burying character alive for 3 days and then digging him up to see if he's still alive. This character's an angel, so he can't die. And it's more of a religious symbolism thing anyway. McDonald's man doesn't know that. He goes white, pulls the stop signal cord, and literally runs off the bus and exit. He never came back to that McDonald's, and I'm once again safe. Also, I'm with a new tactic for every time someone harasses me. Fanfiction for the win. Hey, that's a good strategy. Just start spouting fiction, but forget to mention it's fanfiction. Absolute genius. Now if I just scroll down here. Reminds me of the time a creep sat next to me on the bus when I was a teenage girl and kept trying to make small talk with me, eventually warning me about Mexicans, black guys, and guys with tattoos. What the fuck? Hanging around the area because they were dangerous for a girl like me. I have no idea where he was going with this other than racism. Maybe implying he'd protect me or something? I just said, oh yeah, you never know who's a creep. That's why I always keep a knife on me. And pulled my big serrated pocket knife out of my purse to show it off. He immediately stopped trying to talk to me after that. Nice. You see, this is why you need a pocket knife. Now excuse me while I go order one on Amazon. Nah, I'm joking. Anyway, from the OP here. I love this. It's so important to find ways to defend yourself. And then the person responds again. I also have a tendency to talk to myself, so whenever I find myself alone in the vicinity of potentially sketchy people, I just turn it up a notch or two. Talk a little faster, a little more animated, maybe talk about how if anyone fucks with me, I'll fucking stab them, etc. Because creeps don't fuck with crazy. So if you're not crazy enough, they'll leave you alone. Never actually stabbed anyone, nor do I particularly want to, but they don't know that. Ah, yes, just like it's fiction, but you don't get to know that idea. Genius. Yeah, not gonna lie, I talk to myself too, but I've never weaponized it like this. I gotta try that sometime. Don't mind me. I just noticed one of the moderators over here has I forgot his name. The pink shadow dude from Adventure Time. I forgot who that was. Yeah, put his name in the comments below. I'm too lazy to Google, so yeah. Okay, back on topic. Yeah, this was a really smart idea. Just talk about your fan fiction. So your fiance doesn't know that you're just like only saying this to get on someone's butt. Just like, yeah, it's a really good strategy. Nobody knows any of all of the facts. Anyway, here we are with this one by Employment Quiet 9518. Sorry, my brain died for a second. It's already ran out of reading energy. Nah, I'm joking. I told the rude guy my little brother was dying. Matched energy. Oh, matched energy, you say. Throwaway account because my family is on regular Reddit. Okay. So my mother, little sister, and I are all at a children's hospital because my little brother is dying. No. We want to stay close, so we are at a hotel that we know has a low rate for us. There was this man who heard we were getting free parking and marched up to the counter and started to demand to know why we had free parking and what our rate was. My mother was like, "We are here for the hospital." Started saying that we got a bargain. I could tell that the front desk lady was trying to get us out of there and hurry up. I felt so bad for her. Later on that night, I saw the same man in the elevator and told him that my baby brother was dying, and that's why we get a special rate and free parking. You should have seen his face. He started getting uncomfortable and red and stammering. As I was leaving the elevator, I couldn't help it and asked him if he felt like a jackass yet. Shit, forgive me if you don't know. Edit. Ooh. Thank you, everyone, for the sweet replies I've been getting. Yes, I do know the girl at the desk posted this story on her Reddit as well. I have been sent it over a dozen times, and 99% of those who are messaging me and have been commenting are very sweet, so thank you. For the 1% of you, how rude and pathetic your life is your life. Also, yeah, I'm lying to a bunch of strangers online for what? Grow a brain. I'm in high school and I'm smarter than you guys. The 1% just sounds stupid. The 1% just sounds very dumb. Why do you even need to lie online, bro? What do you get from this? You get nothing important from lying online. Like, nothing. Do you want to feel special? Is that why you lie online? People who actually lie online? Oh, there are also people using AI. But anyway, time to just go dive bomb the first comment. What is that name? I scrolled a little too far and just saw the bottommost comment name. What? Anyway. Scroll back up. He definitely had that coming. Okay, yeah, honestly, that reaction makes sense. He was being rude for no reason and got a reality check real quick. Yeah, seriously, where's the spine on that guy? Where was even 1 ounce of self-respect? Complaining about a parking spot at a children's hospital? What a puss. Comment remove my moderator. Anyone who takes 2 seconds to think about it will realize that children's hospital plus family staying in nearby hotel equals something medically serious is going on. Anyone with an atom of empathy won't begrudge them the frigging free parking, because they are surely dealing with more than enough things right now. Oh no, what did this person say? Man, the only thing I dislike about comments being removed by moderators is the fact that I don't get to read them. And then there's just a reply below that's sometimes like, "Oh yeah, thanks for the info." I'm just like, huh? What did he say? I need to know. Or alternatively, in this case, I'm nosy, let me know. Anyway, tell me what happened in the comments there if you know any of that. Anyway, down to this section of comments, because why not? Absolutely devastating and deserved. I hope he loses a few nights worth of sleep over this and comes out a changed person. Spoiler alert, he won't. Literally the most infuriating part about it, they'll interpret you telling them that as you being the rude one, because I wouldn't have said that if I knew that. And never reflect on how useful it can be to just mind your business and not judge people solely based on what your eyes can perceive in the moment. It sucks. Not a few people have had this kind of exchange, and served as a turning point in their life. I'm not saying it's a sure shot. I'm not even saying it's more likely. I'm just saying this can, and maybe hoping it does. Oh, but yeah, this is exactly it. He needed that reality check, and hopefully it actually makes him think twice about how he treats people. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, sometimes, sometimes, sometimes it works, and other times it's like, when you actually win the argument against your parents. I've actually seen, like, a Reddit post about this. Something about, like, quite a turning point in an argument about, like, the main character was the daughter. Something about, like, something about, her dad not letting in, like, boyfriends and stuff, and just, if you were at my place in the split custody more often, then, like, there would have been less of that. But then she just hit him back with, yeah, well, the first time it happened, it was actually at your place. I just let him in through the window. And then her dad was just like, what? That's how I interpret it anyway, just absolute stutter. And then the very next day, I need to go rewatch the Duck Song. That was not it. What the Anyway, dang it, I lost my track of thought. Oh yeah, so the next day, he just acted like nothing happened and went right back into his rants. And I forgot to mention, thanks to my extremely long thought process, I remembered that it was about him raising his kids insecure. So yeah, take that how you will. So he yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. We're going on to the next one. Alrighty, this one by Blue Dandelion, a verified human. Holy shit, that's crazy. Is about an entitled TV host trying to humiliate an actress. Another matched energy. So, in my country, there's this TV host that a lot of people dislike because of how many sexist comments he makes and the way he interrupts the people he interviews. I personally don't like him, but whatever, that's not what this is about. Think of him as a kind of male Ellen. I'm not gonna try to say that because I don't know. TV host. In case you're wondering, I don't watch stuff like this that often, so I don't know who the heck these people are. Including the Sophia that's mentioned below. So one day, he's interviewing, I'm just gonna call her Sophia. I'm not saying the last name. For those who don't know, she lives in the United States, and she's Colombian. And even though she usually performs in English, that's her second language, so she has a strong accent. She came to the show to talk about her new TV show, and at one moment she was talking about a previous role she had in another show. So, what does this TV host decide to do? Why, make fun of her accent, of course. Sophia. I acted as Gloria Pritchett, I think, character in Modern Family, and how do you say that in English? Then proceeds to say the name of the show, mocking her accent. Sophia. How do I say? TV host. I mean, because in English you say, Sophia. Oh, you mean that my English is bad? TV host. No, I mean, Sophia. I'm just gonna switch to doing a voice instead of saying it every time. Hold on. Oh, you mean that you speak better English than I do? Yes. Oh. Just for context, his English is garbage. Absolute garbage. He mocked her accent and also her career with other comments he had made previously, so she decided to set him straight. I'm sorry, but how many Emmy nominations do you have? How many times were you nominated to the Golden Globes? How many times were you nominated to the... I'm just gonna call it SAG Awards for funny. The audience laughed and fully supported her, and honestly, good for her. He's made fun of so many people he has interviewed, so it was nice to see her being confident, standing up for herself. And then also, the edit, it's just... thought that making the actress anonymous sounded a bit dumb. You know, they're already public enough. So, what the heck? Yes, it was Sophia? I don't fucking know. Yeah, I still don't know how to say that. I'm not trying. This is why I absolutely love Gloria's the monologue in Modern Family. Do you even know how smart I am in Spanish? And talking in my shoes was brilliant wordplay. Thank you very much. Sophia's English is fantastic. Her accent is beautiful, and she enunciates well enough that I can always understand her, even though I feel like my auditory processing is garbage and I have to ask American-born speakers to repeat themselves all the time. All that is in her second language. I agree. I think it's important to recognize that having a thick accent is not the same thing as being bad at that language. You can be perfectly fluent, even having a larger vocabulary and better grammar than the average native speaker, still have a thick accent. And truth is that every native speaker also has an accent, just one that happens to be a more local accent. Yeah, like, technically speaking, doesn't the accent just, like, come with your language from wherever you are? Like, technically speaking, I have an American accent. Nah, I'm joking. I don't really know how that works, but my accent is 110% English. Except I can just randomly throw in other accents. I do that sometimes. I just, like, mimic I hear on the internet for some reason. Anyway, this is true. I'm Southern, live in the South, and some people have such a deep twang that I don't even know what they're saying. I know it's not a second language or anything, but damn, if it doesn't sometimes sound like one, lol. Some of those southern accents are real. We lived in, I'm just gonna call it SW. I don't know what to say there. SW, Georgia for a while. I pride myself on being good with languages and understanding accents. We met the manager at our new housing, and I was at a complete loss. She was an amazing lady, but her accent was so strong I couldn't parse half of what she said. She sounded like Boomer from King of the Hill. I don't even know who that is. I have a couple of imaginary ideas, though. Anyway, back up here. Yeah, I gotta admit, that was definitely one way to just straight up set someone straight. Straight up set someone straight. Anyway. Yeah, that was definitely a pretty good way to do it. Everything works, 10 out of 10, traumatize them back. Okay, and this one by Wings Over... Wings, that's their name now. He's called It's Because He Likes You. And it's oh no, it's the consequences of your actions. I think I'm gonna have to do that subreddit next, because it's always a good one to just be like, hey, look at these consequences. And then just, watch stuff blow up in people's face. Like when you pull pull the pin on a grenade and then, hey, look, consequences of your actions. Kaboop! But, like, in your hand and not literally a grenade. Anyway, to the story. So this story comes not from me, but from my mom back in her kindergarten days in school. Back then, she was targeted by this one boy in particular. I'll call him Tucker for the sake of this story. Tucker sat at a table behind my mom during class time. My mom had always been harassed by Tucker since the start of kindergarten. He would poke my mom during class time, mess up the toys she was playing with, take her pencils when she wasn't looking, etc. But everything came to a head the week before winter break, when Tucker decided to push my ma a little bit during recess. However, that tiny shove threw off her stride, and she ended up slipping on some black ice that neither of them were aware of. Because of that, she could have actually gotten seriously hurt. This is what finally got the teacher's attention, since until now, all the previous incidents with Tucker could have been forgiven with an apology from him, along with an empty promise to not do whatever he did again. But this time, it was different. Parents were called. Everyone gathered in the office to give their side of the story. Now, she didn't remember too much of about the jargon that all the adults were talking about, but she did remember that Tucker's mom was defending his actions, saying that she was making a big deal out of a small thing, that my little angel could never do something so mean. But the thing that angered her most was when she said, Tucker just liked her and didn't know how to express it. That is what pushed my mom over the edge. She got up from her kindergarten-sized chair, watched walked over to where Tucker was sitting, grabbed his arm, and bit him hard. She said, "I did that because I like you." She didn't quite remember what happened after that. She remembered a lot of screaming and crying and eventually going home early to let my grandma and grandpa lecture my mom. Her lecture came in the form of ice cream and an early dismissal from school. 10 out of 10 parents of hers. Anyway, I'm told she had told her parents about Tucker's antics for months and they didn't want to punish her for advocating for herself for the first time. However, they did make sure to tell if there were other methods she could try before resorting to violence. The next day, Tucker had been switched to another class to avoid future incidents. Let's go. She did it. I feel like she did try other methods before resorting to violence. None of the teachers really cared about the violence she was subjected to. Girls are just supposed to be grateful from any attention from boys. Angry cursing emoji. She's a hero. Which translates to, girls should be grateful for violence. Never thought about it this way. Oh boy. Turn the other. My thoughts just hit hard. Imagine girl-to-girl violence. No, I just did it because I like her, as the ultimate excuse. Wait a minute, No, that'd be crazy in like a religious school or something. I don't mean to sound anti-LGBT. I don't have it remembered. I don't mean to sound anti-gay and stuff. But like, that'd be really funny. Like, y'all know what I'm going for. Anyway. Time to actually read this comment. Turn the other cheek sets up little girls to be abused and feel sorry for their abusers. Exactly. The whole, he hits you is to me to you because he likes you. Oh, I read that completely wrong. He hits you / is mean to you because he likes you. Tells girls abuse is love. Welcome to the anti-Vietnam. I was told this as a kid. I had back when I've only got 4. There'll be consequences when I run out. Parents always have my back when it's time for the consequences. You're much kinder than me. My autistic self couldn't help but pointing out misogyny and bigotry in my childhood. Got smacked across the face on the reg. Still have nightmares at 54, even though they're both dead now. I'm so sorry. Okay, now that I think about it, the only reason you're having the nightmares is because their ghosts are bullying you. Nah, I'm joking. Back to the post. I do not want to read that whole string of comments. I ain't doing that anyway. Yeah, gotta admit, this is definitely the most violent and efficient way to do it. Absolute 10 out of 10. Not 11 out of 10. You got the bonus point because, like, a little bit. Nah, I'm joking. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. This one, by Hi Barbie 707, is short and sweet. It's just, Venmo requests my stepdad for therapy money. Petty revenge. There is not an update here. I think I got here too quick, guys. Wait a minute. I just read the created date. No, I don't think I did. He's not even my stepdad anymore. He's just my brother's dad. That being said, I went to Venmo. I went on Venmo this morning and saw that my brother had sent his dad something. I was already feeling down due to being on my period, and was already doing the usual play of some of my traumatic childhood memories when I got the idea to Venmo request my stepdad. So I changed my profile picture to a photo of me as a child, added dramatic effects and requested $200 and wrote in therapy money for all the trauma you caused. My friend said I should have requested more. I'll update you when something happens. Would I call this revenge? No, but it's definitely petty. Sorry, I couldn't read that properly, so I had to change entire tones into, okay, lock the fuck in. Definitely should have requested more. Maybe you should send it recurring every month. For monthly therapy sessions. Weekly. Even better. Plus interest for the emotional damages. Twice weekly. Daily. Also daily. What do you mean daily? Daily doubled. What? Don't think that was meant to be said twice. Might just be like a bug. Anyway, that idea crossed my mind. If he actually accepts the request and send the money, I will certainly try again next month. Even if he doesn't pay it, I just keep requesting every month. Well, great idea. Ooh, and then 4 more comments. Oh my. This string went on longer than I thought, but I can't back out now. Oh damn, good for you. I asked my mother if my mother did agree to support me financially with therapy. I never said because we spent so much time talking about you. No. I'm glad your mom is willing to help make up for what she's done. My parents lack accountability. My mom gave me the old, you didn't have it that bad. Oh, she has no idea she's making up for anything. We've been almost no contact for 2 years, and I don't even think she knows it's because of her behavior. Not just that I need to take some time for myself. Good for you for setting boundaries. I too am no contact with my mom. Over 4 years now. Oh, okay. Over 4 years? Okay, how long ago was that? I'm just like, hold on, I need to double check. Over 4 years. Literally since the post was created, I guess. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's some pretty funny stuff. Unfortunately, I don't see an update anywhere, so... But hey. Definitely petty. Definitely a revenge. I just... There's nothing happening yet. I need to come back in like another few years. Okay, this one by Molly Moles. Thank goodness, one I can actually say. Is called... Boomer commenting on my quote-unquote bump. Traumatized. And this one feels like a boomers being fools thing, so we get go back to one of my previous videos, I guess. Okay, I'm done speaking. Yeah, okay. I had a miscarriage the first of the year. I was at 18 weeks and it was my first ever pregnancy. I had to have a D&E to remove the fetus. And was out of work for about a month, and now I have been back to work for about 2 months. I work at a community facility for the 50-plus population, and many of them had said caring things and asked how I've been feeling/recovering. I've had a boomer lady come up to me this week and ask how I was feeling. I thought it was just a general question because since I was recovering from my health issues, in quotes. Said I was doing pretty good. Then she then said, "Oh, good, and I can see your little bump." Oh, I know where this is going. I responded, actually, I miscarried at 18 weeks. She started stammering and stuttering and apologizing. I feel so bad. Well, thanks, I do too. And what bump? Fuck you. I'm 10 pounds below my pre-pregnancy weight and decently thin, nowhere near a second trimester bump. And was very sick with anemia from blood loss after surgery and lost the weight. What possesses these people to comment on other people's bodies? Feel like I could have traumatized her worse, but I chickened out. I have a necklace locket that has my baby's footprints in it. They are actual size. If I have another person comment on my lost pregnancy like that, I'm going all in and showing them the footprints I wear around my neck. Update. It seems my use of 50 plus and boomer have got several people's eyes. To clarify, this lady was not 50. She was late 60s/early 70s. I was just trying to give the background that I work at a community type facility and has regular attendance by the members. So for her to comment on my lost pregnancy 3 months after the fact, when I've seen her in the facility several times since felt very ignorant on her part. I had a small bump before Christmas. Found out about the miscarriage, no heartbeat, no movement, between Christmas and New Year's. Had surgery January 2nd. Is that the opposite of a Christmas gift? What the fuck? That's sad. Again, I've been back for 2 months now, and I'm 10 pounds under the weight I was at before. Update 2. Oh. Seems as if many of you are concerned about dementia. I alluded to it without saying it outright. I work at a community center with senior citizens. I know what dementia looks like and who has it. She's one of the regular fitness class attendees and often comes with a mother who legitimately has dementia. If someone with dementia made the comment, I would not have made this post. It has been 3 months since I've had a bump. Let alone at this point in time, I would have been like 6 months and definitely big. I'm only 5'3". When I first got back to work, there were several people still congratulating me. I just shook my head no to the hand signal cut across my neck. I don't know if that's what it's called. And smiled sadly, and people got the idea. I didn't post about these interactions because at that point in time, it was an honest mistake, not ignorance. Ah. That's why we don't comment upon people's bodies. This is a great reply when they start stammering and saying they didn't know. I just don't assume you're going to be jumped with, that's why you don't comment on people's bodies. Then I glisten on such like a precious, heartbreaking keepsake. I'm sorry for your loss and hope you generally meet with compassion and kindness. I have a necklace with my cat's ashes in an hourglass. Not even close to losing a child, but the closest experience I can empathize with. And it is precious and equally heartbreaking keeping her with me. It also has a cross that belongs to my great-grandmother, who passed away a few years ago. It's beautiful, and I'm sorry for your loss. Never compare losses. No one else knows how much love and loss you have felt, only you. Feelings are 100% legitimate. My mom has 2 human kids and still mourns her first extra special cat. She got him as a scrawny stray kitten, and I swear he's her favorite of all the kids, furry or otherwise. Yeah, oh my, I'm not clicking 33, heck no. I'm just reading this, I'm just gonna read this, okay. I'm sorry that people my age are so caught up in centering themselves they forget manners. Bring up, and Lander said not to comment on anything that can't be fixed in 10 seconds. Good advice. I don't even know what that's a reference to. Anyway, I'm gonna go back up here. Speaking of like a scrawny stray kitten, I'm gonna just throw out a random fact that has nothing to do with any of this, minus the fact it was small and in my backyard. It was a bird that probably fell from my big-ass tree in my side yard. Because, yeah, I have one of those. There's just this giant tree in my side yard and also the front yard. But more importantly, it was just a little bird in the side yard that, like, either I didn't notice when first going out to grab the trash, or just, like, didn't fall until, like, a few seconds after I came back in with the trashes from out front. So, yeah, there was just a bird, and, you know, we're not supposed to do anything with it, because, like, the mother's still supposed to save the scrawny little baby bird that we definitely cannot feed ourselves, because where does one acquire worms and a worm masher? And then, like, a syringe for feeding a bird? I don't think we have any of those, and I don't think those exist. Okay, they probably do, but still. So yeah, that little thing is just in the backyard currently. Well, for all we know, he could just not be in the backyard right now. We don't know. I can't go out and check right now, because it's what? Yeah, it's late. I can't just go check on there. It's late. I'll get an update on that, like, Next time make a Reddit video, maybe, I don't know, maybe just next gaming video entirely. Yeah. Yeah, I did that earlier tonight. Anyway. Let's see. Screw it, I'm gonna just check. Based on the time, you're gonna get a slightly shorter Reddit than usual. So that'll be all, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you like this Reddit content. And thanks for stopping by. This is a really good subreddit, so I might actually come back here more often. I don't want to update now. Okay, remind me later, I guess. They're gonna have to say the intro again. Not the intro, the outro again. That'll be all, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you like this content, and thanks for stopping by.